It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. We've teamed up with McKellar to bring you the brand new House of the Dragon beers. Here is the packaged unboxed. We have a couple of letters. The one I quite like, it says friend of Westeros, and then it goes into what you're drinking and so on. So the beers are going to be available in Italy, France, UK, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, Norway and the Netherlands. Of course, McKellar being a Danish company, a fantastic Danish company for that matter, brewer. We got some, I'll be quick with this because you're not really interested in this stuff. We got some beer mats, HBO, House of the Dragon. It's a it's the spin-off to the fantastic Game of Thrones series, but set 200 years before Game of Thrones. It's probably going to tell you what happened to the dragons and stuff. So there's the beer mat. Anyway, we've got a bag of popcorn and some nice paper. I had a bottle opener as well, but my daughter stole that off me. Right, 3 beers. We have a DragonFruit Ale, non-alcoholic DragonFruit Ale at 0.3% ABV. We will be drinking this first. And then we have 2 cans that look quite similar, but one's a session IPA at 3.5% ABV called Syrax, and this is Syrax Rises, a 5.5% ABV IPA. Fire will rain down the side. House of McKellar in Denmark. Right, gonna be honest with you, I don't buy non-alcoholic beer. I don't generally drink non-alcoholic beer. I'm either drinking or I'm not drinking. I'm one of these people. If I'm not drinking, I'll drink tea, coffee and orange squash. If I'm drinking, I'll drink beers. I mean, if I'm sitting in my garden, I'll drink beers from 5% upwards. But we'll get it out. We'll get it out into a glass, see what we get. For people who are interested in this, I think they've gone for... Of course, I think that the whole kind of premise for this is that they've gone for that younger generation maybe who... The younger generation don't really drink anymore, do they? Have you noticed that? It's always in the news. They want to game all of the time or binge watch on Netflix. They don't really need to go to the pub anymore, do they? So they don't really drink anymore. So maybe this beer is aimed at them. So DragonFruit is it a Chinese, I think it is a Chinese fruit, isn't it? Anyway, 1 finger, slightly pinky head, good levels of carbonation. Of course, comment in the comments box, as you always will, and let me know where DragonFruit actually comes from. I know it's Asia, somewhere in Asia, but Asia's a big blooming place, isn't it? So pinky in colour, aroma, it smells like juice. Yeah, I mean, that's as refreshing as it's gonna get. This for me is a juice drink. Lovely and carbonated. Really punching with that dragon fruit. Little bit of malt in there. That's okay. It's okay. But I'm gonna move on, because I like beer more than I like juice. If you're a fruit juice type of person who likes this Game of Thrones House of the Dragon series, then maybe get the DragonFruit one. Let's get the oh, that's called Caraxes, by the way, the non-alcoholic DragonFruit one. Let's get this one out then. This is a 3.5% ABV session IPA. Now we're talking. I mean, I'm not against non-alcoholic beer, it's just not for me. It's just not for me. So there we are then, 2 finger white head, good levels of carbonation in the glass. It's a straw coloured beer. Got the back door open and the neighbour's blooming washing machine's on high spin. Can you hear it? My apologies. This is the thing with a home bar. You can't control what's around you, can you? But hey ho, we'll get on with it. Neighbour's washing machine or not. Aroma. Yeah, this is more like it. Nice and hoppy. A little bit of passion fruit, a little bit of mango. A little minty, like a spearmint aroma. Quite different, a little bit of orange peel. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, it's very refreshing, it's very light on the malt. It's leaning towards being hoppy, but it's leaning towards that kind of New England session IPA where lots of the flavours are in the middle. There's a little bit of sweetness to begin with, there's a little bit of bitterness on the back end. The middle is passion fruit, mango, grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange. Lovely lacing on the glass. It's lovely. It's a lovely session strength IPA. Let's move on to the big one. I say big one, it's 5.5% ABV. Personally, I'm just gonna be perfectly honest. I think if this was down to McKellar himself, styling this IPA himself as an American style IPA, I think he would have probably wanted it to be at 6% ABV. Probably a chat with the makers of this series, probably a conversation with marketing and everything else that goes in there. They probably wanted it at 5%, and McKellar Borg probably wanted it at 6%. His argument probably being American IPA should start at 6% ABV, and I probably believe, because I've been in these situations myself, I've brewed some beer myself and I've brewed beer with breweries, and I've had the odd argument myself where does the ABV land, where I always want a little bit more ABV, the brewery may want a little less because they want to sell more of the beer. A 5.5% ABV IPA will sell to the general public a ton more than a 6% ABV beer, even though it's only 0.5% ABV. But it's a psychological thing. You're thinking you're drinking something about 5%, whereas if you're buying a beer at 6%, it's more of a psychological thing, rather than a... The Americans introduced this, the British introduced the IPA style hundreds of years ago. The Americans reintroduced it when it nearly died away, and they brought it back as a 6% ABV style of beer. Let's get it open into a glass, see what we get. I've got to be honest with my audience. If I'm not honest with my audience, I'm going to get found out. People are going to comment in the comments box. They're going to be saying, why didn't you bring up the fact that it was 5.5% ABV and not 6% ABV? I've been drinking McKellar's beers for at least 12 years. At least 12 years. So I kind of know McKellar's journey. Absolutely famous, world famous brewer in the beer community. Everybody knows McKellar. They now have bars in America. They've got American breweries. They've got bars in Denmark. They've probably got something in London, but I've not looked. But yeah, fantastic reputation with this company. We got a 1 to 2 finger white head on this one. It's very similar to the previous, slightly darker coloured beer, but that's because they've added a little bit more malt to the beer. The little bit more malt you've added, it got slightly darker. But the more malt you add, of course, the more sugar you're extracting, and it becomes then a 5.5% ABV with a higher malt bill. Aroma on this one then. This has got a slightly kind of jammy, orange marmalade jam aroma to it. Slightly spicy, slightly peppery. Smells really good. Smells really good. Orange peel and lemon. Grapefruit. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's got a Belgian feel to it. It's got a very dry Belgian, like it's been fermented quite high. It's got a real dryness to it, which I like. I like a Belgian beer. I like a dry Belgian beer. This has got that kind of dry Belgian feel to it. It's peppery and spicy. There's a little bit of sweetness to begin with. And then on the back end, you're greeted with, I'd say, Belgian candied fruits in it as well. It's very much like a Belgian ale, this one. A Belgian IPA. It's like a Belgian blonde with a level of dryness to it. Peppery, spicy, bitter on the back end with some grapefruit, orange peel, and fleshy blood orange. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice beer. This is quite superb. Quite superb. I wondered if, I don't know if there's much of a description on this. It's basically based around the Game of Thrones, who's not really kind of about the beer, but it's been brewed at the Proof Brewery in Belgium, which McKellar's been brewing with for many, many years. So I wonder if they've actually gone with a more of a Belgian IPA. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I was kind of expecting an American style IPA. With it being more of a Belgian style IPA, I can now understand that 5.5% ABV a little bit more. The question is, I think there's McKellar there in his, that's the McKellar logo on the back there. That's them with the, as the kings, the kings of the king of the north, king of the south. You know, I like to see these. It's very, very good. Very, very good. Question is, and this is the honest answer from me, would I buy these beers? Yeah, I think they're worth it. That fruity, non-alcoholic beer is full of that dragon fruit, and it's really lovely and refreshing. So I'd have this in the morning. Then I would follow up with a mid-afternoon 3.5% ABV session IPA, which is the Syrax. And then by the time I finish that, maybe it's about 12:30, 1 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, and I would open up the IPA at 5.5% ABV. I think it's a lovely variety of beers. It's a lovely variety of styles, from fruit beer to non-alcoholic fruit beer to session IPA to IPA. It's a nice kind of work your way through the styles. I always do it by ABV personally, unless it's a roasted beer, but that's another subject. The point is, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, if you've been looking forward to this series, then these beers are for you. They really are. They're really quite fun. They really are quite fun and quite entertaining. And yeah, I'm going to rate them. I reckon it's a really good effort by McKellar. A really good effort. I reckon I'm going to give these a good 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.